A Rocket League player came to me for help with mechanics. He wanted to know, how do I build Grand Champ and even SSL level control? There are a lot of misconceptions, so I broke it all down. We went through everything from tornado spins, air dribbles, realistic setups, things as tricky as when to use ball cam versus car cam, how I control my dribbling, how to pop the ball off your hood to set up plays the right way, and how to actually train mechanics so they work in game. This was an awesome session. Normally I don't post these, but I thought it would be cool for you guys to see like what coaching with me is actually like behind the scenes. And if you're new here, I'm Luke from the grandchampbootcamp.com. I'm a Grand Champ 3 rated player, and I coach with pros like Shock, Freaky, and Torment. Timestamps are below, so if you want the training packs, the workshop maps, anything we go over in this video, or you just want to become a part of a community that's obsessed with improvement, click the first link, join the free Discord, and I'd love to have you inside. All right, intro done. Let's get into it. This is my coaching session with Jaeger. All the best moments. Enjoy.
Is the more drastic directional control done via that induced torque by putting the perpendicular
yeah, so we get
momentum? Correct.
We get more change with a different adjustment. So this animation, if you split each joystick into, up, right, down, left, up, left, there are 8 ways you can push your joystick as I trace them here on my controller overlay. And so tornado spin is holding arrow left and pushing to the right. So this is our kind of foundational movement because it has a nice, it has a lot of use cases and it's kind of home base. But it doesn't give you those harsh direction changes because it's just a circular movement. It's just, we just spin in a circle when we do this. If you want your car to move in a direction that tilts a certain direction, like let's say we want to turn right with arrow left, we push up.
So that is really where you're doing your major directional changes when you're styling on kids.
Exactly. So if you watched me do a slow-mo air dribble, it would look something like this. And it's hard to articulate my thought process, but it goes something like tornado. I realize I need to turn right, push up and to the right. I'm in a good position. I need to turn left, push down and to the right. And now I keep the ball balanced. And
yeah, that was nice.
Those slight adjustments. And when you put it in real speed, it's nothing like that. When you put it in real speed, it's like up, right, down, right, left, up, right. It's like really quick movements, and they're coming at like, 1/8 of a second intervals. So it's like, it's quicker flicks of the joystick. But this
that really helps.
Is the idea.
Thank you. Another question I had is like, I'm watching you. I see some players give it a lot of space and let the ball almost come to its apex in height above the sign before they go and give it like a significant strike. It seems like you're giving it only a little bit of space before you go in for the touch, and you're always following through rather than striking, staying on the wall, jumping off, and then hitting to the goal. So would you say generally is the goal to carry the ball, or are there times where it's more advantageous to like strike, sit on the wall, and then like dive bomb at it? Do you always want to be going with it through the air?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it really depends on, so when I'm thinking about the timing of my takeoff and what I'm doing with like the speed, like brake checking, not brake checking, how quickly I boosted the ball, it's often based on the setup. So there's the consideration of like, so there are kind of 2 steps I would break it into. The first thing you can think about is, how is this ball positioned on the wall? How can I get it in the air? Because if you let a ball fall to the end of its path, let's let it fall, and then we try to take off here, I'm not going to be able to air dribble. It's falling down too quickly. I can't give it enough oomph. So you're thinking, how can I catch this ball while it's still rolling up to get that like kind of meaningful touch into the air that I can create from. If the ball's already falling down here, it's even hard to get it all the way to the net. I have to use a reset to save it or something. So what I'm thinking is, first, how is this ball bouncing? So I'm looking at the shot on the wall, and I'm going, this ball's gonna fall pretty quickly. I've got to hustle and catch up to it and strike it pretty quick. I don't really have time to break tap or anything like this. So this shot, I'm thinking, I gotta go quick. I gotta jump with the ball. I gotta connect, and there are certain ways you can create. Now, like this shot, for example, I have a little bit more time, but the ball is falling off the wall. So I'm going to have to jump with it in order to stay close.
Oh, that's awesome. That was pretty sexy.
So these are, I appreciate the praise. These are, that's how you would go at like that shot. This shot's falling down a little bit. So if I want to get it, I have to kind of hustle for it. I have to do that same thing where I jump again, but it's actually rolling towards me a little bit, which means if I just strike under the ball, it's going to continue moving back. So now I'm seeing I have to get behind this ball and then jump. And that's giving me an air dribble on that. Real quick, if you're watching this and you're thinking, man, I never thought about air roll or air dribbles or first touches like this, you're probably exactly the kind of player we help. If you didn't know, I run the #1 coaching service in Rocket League, and it's called thegrandchampbootcamp.com, where we do stuff like this every day. I've got pro coaches like Shock, Freaky, and Torment doing private one-on-ones with students like you see in this video, and you could be one of them. I say this a lot, and that's because I truly mean it. One-on-one coaching is hands down the fastest way to improve in Rocket League. You're not just guessing what to do or trying to filter a YouTube video. A pro is looking at your gameplay and telling you exactly what's holding you back. Plus, it's just like super cool to talk to pros, and even I still fanboy. Right now, Shock has 18 out of 20 spots taken. Freaky has 16 out of 20 spots taken, and Torment has 12 of 20. We're extremely limited, and these fill up quick. So if you're watching, once again, the Discord is first link in the description. Click that, book a call with us. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, totally slightly different question. Striking the ball at an angle, and there's like a gold training pack from Psionics.
Yeah, do you want me to pull up in the pack?
Okay, so yeah, this is the shot. I suck at it. It kind of auto mirrors to other stuff. I need to adjust my settings, but here we go again.
Yeah, it's very hard to get. So when these shots are coming in at an angle, it's very hard to send this ball exactly where it came. So like if you try to send that ball anywhere on the left side of the field, right, which is if it's coming out from the left, like just try to hit it in the corner, not the net. You'll notice this.
Okay.
On either side. If you try to hit it in the corner, you're going to get a lot less power than if you try to hit it to the right, in this case. If the shot's mirrored, now it's going to be to the left. Okay. In this case, it's to the right. If you hit it to the right, you're going to get much more height and bounce. And that's because like we're working with the ball.
With momentum, yeah. So yeah, I just don't... If I tried to power slide like I did there, right, maybe I can adjust the direction. I just can't seem to redirect the power correctly. And so I'm just wondering, what's your approach? Like, what's the correct approach to the strike? Because this happens all the time in my games.
Yeah, for sure. I
always miss.
So the best thing to do is to get a good line to the ball before we connect with it. So we don't want to be holding power slide as we strike the ball. We're going to lose power that way. Okay. So if we're holding, not because power slide has some magical property, but because if you're in the process of power sliding, you're slowing down, right? Like you're slowly coming to a stop. So what I'm doing on this shot is I'm coming around and I'm getting my line fast. So I'm tapping power slide twice, getting in line before I go for the shot. So I'm doing this hook that you did, but instead of going at the ball and then hooking, I'm doing the hook first. So the first thing I do is I line myself up with the shot. This puts me in a strong position to then be able to drive at it and get power. So this first motion I would practice is drive, double tap power slide. So I'm going here. My power slide is RB, by the way. So it's like this. You see how I'm getting, so basically I'm repositioning. So the first thing you do is reposition. Then after we reposition, I now have a straight line to the ball. I'm going to drive at it and try to generate power. And I'm naturally going to be shooting a little bit farther to the left, only because, and this is a good example, I'll let this play back, because the ball is coming from the right. So I'm going to be able to strike it easier. So the more on the right side we can get, the more that we're working with it. I can give you the opposite example. If I try to work against it here, I'm going to lose a lot of power. Like if I try to come to the left and then hit it exactly back where it came from, it's going to be very challenging to do so. It's going to be very weak. Whereas if I work with the ball, it's going to go much stronger. So that's where I would start if I were you. You can get very powerful touches.
That's awesome. I guess what I would say is, after so much struggling and practice on my own, just to get this like slight adjustment from an authority really helps. I have a deep appreciation for like the form, if that makes sense. Thank you for showing me the correct form, right? It's a shame to learn how to squat with bad form, because it's like, then you have to unlearn the habits. So that makes a lot of sense about like picking your angle early rather than just
Oh, for sure.
racing to the
It's
ball.
everything.
Actually, I think I suffer from that. It's like I think I play like a 7-year-old soccer league. My games are like there's a herd of cars that just follow the ball.
Yep.
And everybody
Like
gets
this.
soft touches. Yeah,
Or like
exactly.
if you're coming out the side, you'll just slam it into the wall here, and then somebody else comes to slam it in the wall. But like, yeah, it works up. So sorry to interrupt, but like this is a really niche advanced example. But like we talk about picking your line. Like picking your line could be on a ground shot, but if you want to pick your line on an air dribble, if I just air dribble this ball, I'm just going into the wall. I mean, this is okay. You can kind of create like this in a 3s match, but in a 2s match, we want to pick our line, come around it from the left, and then start an air dribble. And this allows us to air dribble on net now. So we're doing that same double tap of power slide to get behind the ball now, and now we're air dribbling across the field.
Brother, it's like watching LeBron dunk the basketball saying you can do this one day too. It's like I'm just learning how to do layups. It's pretty awesome to see you do it. I guess that's like the next level of air dribble where you pop it up on your hood and then just fast aerial at it.
Yeah, if you're catching the ball on an up bounce like this, you can create really deadly
so cool.
attacks.
That's
I'll let this
awesome.
one play back.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept.
I would say if you had time to maybe give me some like really simple dribbling drills, or maybe like setting some realistic expectation. Like if somebody is a dad or an unk and they have 30 to 1 hour a day to invest in this game.
Yeah,
I've not mega sweaty. Like how long would it take me to get to platinum? Like I've definitely really struggled.
You can get to platinum in 100 hours in Rocket League total. So you could get there in 100 days from start. Some people get placed in platinum, but many fall out. That's common these days. So I mean, realistically, you can make progress on an hour a day, no doubt about it. It's just like working out. It's like if it's a good hour, you can make tons of progress. You can make tons of progress. In fact, as I've gotten, I like to think, better in the gym and better in Rocket League, I get more out of less time. But an hour a day is more than enough to see gains. I mean, you got to give your brain sleep. Like that's so important for learning a game like this. You can't, even the kids who grind 8 hours a day, they don't go pro at 13. They all go pro at 16 or 17, 18. Like they give them, like it takes those years and years, which is super interesting. And I'm sure if there was more money in the game, people would write papers about and stuff like this. But to answer your question, you can get to plat in less than 100 hours. And dribbling, where do you struggle with dribbling?
I cannot control it. I don't know if you want to like watch me run the show on my screen if you have my stream up.
Yep, I do.
So I just started to learn that I can like push it by staying. But then when I try to do, for example, the go in a circle, I can't seem to like get it to bounce. And so like the best I can do is push it sort of like this. And once in a while I can get it to roll perfectly so I can boost while pushing it without hitting it.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can, yeah.
In order to get it to bounce, you need very precise, like, you need to be able to accelerate and decelerate quickly. So when I do that on my monitor, I'm hitting boost, or basically slamming gas, striking the ball, hitting brakes, coming around it, catching up, striking the brakes. Very difficult.
So this is more of a striking thing, okay.
Very difficult to do. Before going in a circle, I would probably cut back and forth. So I would be doing like these 45 degrees. You come around the ball, hit this way, come around this way, come around this way. And to do these turns the right way, we're tapping power slide once or twice. So we're tapping power slide as we turn. Okay. Tapping power slide as we turn. We need to be striking the ball opposite the direction it's traveling to give it lift. So if we could strike the ball as hard as we want, but if it's in the direction it's already traveling, we don't get much lift. But we could hit the ball very weak, but if we're opposite the direction it's traveling, it's going to bounce pretty high.
Yeah.
So you can give the ball much more lift when we attack it from even a 45-degree angle as opposed to straight on. And that's what enables us to get that bounce.
Can you break down the whole concept of the white circle? It's like I see some people take take it off ball cam onto car cam, and then they're like that SpongeBob episode with the, you know, bear fish. You got to stay inside the white circle, and they like drive around perfectly inside the white circle. What's the whole deal with that? And like, why do you switch cams? Because a lot of on YouTube, I'd recommend like play an entire game without switching from ball cam. Because when I first started the game, ball cam felt bad, and so then everybody's like use ball cam all the time. So I don't know if you can answer that.
That does remind me. I mean, every time I've taught Rocket League to my friends, that's always the first instinct. Ball cam feels weird. Ball cam feels unnatural because when you're learning Rocket League, you're struggling to move your car in the way you want. And so you think, oh, me looking at the ball, this just even complicates where my car is facing even more. Now I'm so confused. But in game, the objective is to play around the ball, at least in Platinum and Diamond. And so having ball cam on is a benefit. That's why. And it's correct to say that you need to get comfortable with it. Question about ball circle, that I'll need a little bit. Tell me more about what you've heard about the ball circle.
That I shouldn't be focusing when I'm dribbling on how the ball is contacting my car, but instead how my car is positioned in the white circle. I can't even really seem to get it into this position in the first place in a game where I'd be enabled to even potentially balance it. So I don't know how to like pop it up onto my hood to then do the white circle following.
So I really like to get comfortable with popping it on the hood. I really like this idea of like, there are two ways to do it. You can hit the ball slowly and then come all the way around it. Take your time. Use power slide if you need to. Use brake if you need to. This is a very easy way to get the ball in your car. Just let it hit you.
That's great, actually. Thank you.
So that's a slow, methodical way to practice that. It is very important to practice getting the ball on your car because in game, you don't have that process covered for you. And so many training packs will just solve for that, but it's not helpful. So that's a good way. Another way that is more game realistic is like you'll get the ball and it's not traveling at you perfectly. Like it'll just be slow in the corner here and there'll be defenders back. So we need to create direction change on the ball. So it's going to look like two touches. It's going to look like a touch to the right and then a touch that comes around and gets under the ball. And so that's the more advanced version that we can practice. Which is
it
like,
just makes a lot of sense, that deeper principle that in order to pop the ball up, you need to go in the like opposite vector of its travel.
Exactly.
I think I could see how it's gonna apply. I'm not even close there yet, but you did that air dribble where you popped it off of your hood, like it's coming directly at you from this angle. You pop it up and you're able to go across the entire field. Like it's starting to make sense how they do that crazy stuff. Dude, thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. It was a pleasure to meet the man behind the legend that is the Grand Champ Boot Camp. I think it's awesome. I think you're doing a great job. It's cool to see your business thrive. I like to look into the story around it, and I think that you're gonna just like keep finding much success doing what you're doing. It's good content.
Thank you. And let me know. I appreciate you have a very mature outlook, so I appreciate Jaeger, and because I'm trying to make my videos for people like you. So if you liked them, let me know.
Okay, all right, man. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.